I met a gypsy.
I still had I got a new truck built after I sold that one, and I was like, well, I want to race in the States and go and race in Mexico at the Score events. It's the pinnacle of this form of motorsport, the Baja 1000. And I thought, how cool would it be to have an Australian team, compete and try to win? And that was what my goal was, And first of all, when I thought that, well, who do I get? And Toby was right at the top of the list, and I rang his guys to say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What do you think? And then rang him, and that's how we started.
Explain to people how good of a driver Toby is, because obviously people probably know Toby mostly from winning Dakars, and if you're Aussie, you know him from being the most winning Fink rider. But man, he can drive.
He can drive. Like he's you look at how good of a motorcycle rider he is. He's just as good as a car driver, really. I see every time I go and I'll watch something that he does or watch in car or footage and especially in qualifying is the biggest thing where you can tell. And you look at his in-car footage of how controlled he is on the steering wheel. He's not, soaring on the steering wheel. It's not panicked.
Yeah.
Everything's like in
not
slow
big motions.
Yeah, but everything's in slow motion.
Yeah.
That's how it looks. Probably doesn't feel like that for him, but that's how it looks, watching. And, to be able to, like Baja 400 last year in qualifying, he missed a corner and had to spin it around and still qualified 8 seconds in front of everyone.
That's crazy.
And these guys here
are amazing.
Like they're the best, So his natural ability, which comes, I think, from a bike as well, and especially doing the cross-country rally stuff that he's had done, is coming from being able to read the terrain.
Yeah.
And not read the terrain 100 metres out or whatnot, like 300 or 400 metres up the road, and reading what is there. And, might be tree lines or whatever, and you're going down a hill. So most of the time that means that there's a creek. So what that means is that, it's either going to be a danger or, water, rocks,
drops. Yeah.
Everything like that. So he's really good at reading the road and reading what's ahead of him. And that's where the biggest advantage I think he has over most people.
Have you spoke to him about it?
No, not really.
Be interesting to know what he's thinking, eh?
Yeah.
Because he is on a crazy level.
The level that he's at in qualifying and then also in a race is amazing. What he's able to do and how, Baja is different to everything, where you don't want to go flat out, okay, and try to win by 10 minutes.
It's a marathon,
or 15.
not a sprint kind of thing.
But then it's a bit of a game, because what you're trying to do is, if you're in the lead, you're trying to get the guys behind you and back them into each other, and that because of the dust. We spend a lot of time down there pre-running, where we're looking for different lines of advantages and everything like that. But this race, there was nothing, and so what you're trying to do is back up the guy who was second into the guy who was third, into the guy who was fourth, and so on. So they get into their dust, and then they start getting frustrated, and they start pushing.
Yeah.
And then that's
to try and get through the dust.
Yeah, try to get through the dust, and that's where they hit it, bang a tire and pop a tire. For us, when you're in the lead, you got clear air, it's no dramas, and so you're using every resource that you have, as in the helicopters. Pick guys on, where you're coming across different sections, and that to time and to give you the gaps. And
so you're not trying to pull away too hard.
You're not trying to pull away. So it gets to a certain amount of time in the race, and then it's like go time.
Yeah.
And so hopefully by then, your guys behind you have had flats, and have done that once or twice, and they've dropped back. And then they start to sort of calm down a bit by then, because they're going, we can't keep on getting flat.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.